I knew it was important to reach out when you were going through your exit, let's call it, and because I knew the pain of it and I knew the challenge of it. But I do believe that one of the lessons I've learned is you have to think about how other people are being affected by situations, especially once you have pain in your own life. It's all gotten so far removed from humanity that the idea that, I don't like that Tucker Carlson takes a bite out of my ass on his show on a regular basis.
I think you had a good reason not to like me. I think that would be fair.
But that means that this is not somebody who you should care about as a human being.
Of course, I couldn't agree with you more, which is why we're here. And I think both of us have tried to talk directly to people that we disagree with legitimately on some things, but because it's a really useful and important experience. So why doesn't it happen? It does make you kind of wonder, maybe there are forces trying to prevent those conversations, and what's the motive there?
We are not supposed to be doing this. I am doing something bad right now, not just wrong. This is bad.
Like morally bad.
I am giving a platform. That's the new word for censoring, right? I'm giving Tucker Carlson a platform. I'm talking to him about who he is and what he's about and why he does what he does. Why? He's bad. And that's the end of the analysis. But look where it's gotten us. Nobody talks to each other anymore. Everything is about silos and sides. And people will say, no. There's a line. And Tucker is and Tucker has crossed that line. And I will say, yeah, says who? Says you in the media who also cast me out?
The one way in which I really sympathize with you, and I said this in public at the time, is that you were attacked, and I don't know the details, I'm not going to ask you to reveal them, but felt like you were fired because you remained close to your brother, who was governor of New York, and he was going through a bunch of stuff. He left office, and you were still talking to him, and you weren't allowed to. And my take on it from a distance, knowing neither you nor your brother, was you got to stick with your brother. It's your brother. And that obligation supersedes all others because that's your family.
People feel differently about family, which was somewhat of a new concept for me.
In what way?
I had a big shot media person say to me in an interview on their platform, I would not have helped my brother. Not if it would have conflicted with my ethical obligations as a journalist.
Or your career ambitions is what they're really saying.
Well,
it's disgusting.
Either way. And I said, well, first of all, it didn't, because I didn't cover my brother's situation on my show. I've never had the audience give me a hard time until they started hearing things in the media that didn't square with what they had thought. For me, it was more, I got myself into a situation I didn't see coming. I didn't have any control over how getting fired happened. All I control is what I do next. But when I met you, you were not the way I was. You were ebullient. You were laughing, and you were, yeah, well, let me tell you, it was a favor to me. And this is going to be okay. I'm going to be fine. This is a weird world, and now I know things I didn't know before.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a real blessing for you. What did you figure out that you didn't know before?
I loved working there. I was there 14 years. They were always nice to me. So it's not an attack on them to say that I was hemmed in by the fact that I work for someone else. And that's just the nature of the relationship. No matter how free you think you are, part of you is assessing whoa, I actually am an employee. I do have a boss, and I knew that they disagreed with me on a bunch of big topics. And to their great credit, they never tried to change my view on those topics. But you aren't fully free if you work for someone else. That's how I felt about it. And I just had reached this time in my life where I feel like there's all these really important things going on. I want to be as honest as I can possibly be at all times. And that was a hindrance to me. So I also had this kind of supernatural sense that everything's going to be fine. And that in the end, you die anyway. So what are you afraid of exactly? And I'd also done it for too long, too long, same gig. It's good to be, and I had been fired before a couple of times. So it's good to be fired because it brings you low and you don't become the overbearing asshole that every TV person is on some level. I mean, I already am that, but it kept it in check a little bit. A little public humiliation is really important for a man. I would recommend it to all men.
Everybody who I reached out to about you said, you know, he's changed. He's different because of this. And when I spoke to you recently, not in the beginning, but recently, you said, yeah, I'm not that guy anymore. What does that mean for you?
Well, it just, I mean, I don't think I was playing a role ever. I was definitely used by your former employer and mine, CNN, to flack for the Iraq War, and I allowed that without even really knowing it was happening, and I was always bitter about that in the way that you are when you've done something wrong. In other words, if you fight with your wife and it's 100% her fault, you're not that mad. But if it's really your fault, then you're extra mad because you're mad at yourself. And that, you know, I've been mad at myself for 20 years over the things that I said and was pushed into saying, promoting the Iraq War, which is totally indefensible in my opinion. But other than that, I have always, I think, been myself. But you reach a stage in life where I don't feel like I have anything to prove, and I don't need to be nasty to people. I've done that. I have a PhD in it. You were probably the last person I was really, really nasty to. Sorry.
Yeah, you got an A in that class, you bastard.
So I don't go into things like I just talked to Putin, and everyone's like, you got to be rough on Putin. Actually, you're not my boss. I can do whatever I want. Yeah, I could go in there and tell Putin, you're a monster. Okay, what do we get out of that? So I can like prove that I'm a tough guy? I don't need to prove that. I'm not insecure about that, and I just want to hear people talk because I think it's interesting. I think it's important to hear people talk, and so I can kind of pull myself out of it more than I was able to before. If you're 31 and trying to make it in TV, you know, you're itching for a confrontation to show your skills. Like, I can win. And now it's like, nah, I've done that. I'm not interested in that. It's totally pointless. I don't elicit any interesting information. It's all about me and my performance. And I know you know what I'm talking about because you've lived the life, but there's a lot of pressure on you to make a moment. And now I'm just like, I've had a lot of moments. You can look them on YouTube if you want.
You know, you're tougher than I am. Not physically. I would literally twist you like a bandit. But you had more resilience about this than I did. I still feel like I'm on one knee and getting back up. And what motivated me to come back was, one, my wife told me I had to. Two, you know, she was like, you got to get up, and, you know, we got kids, you got to get up, you got to do something with your life that is helping people and making something of this place. Get up, do something with your life. Okay.
Was that your response? Okay.
My response was, get away from me and my bottle.
More Casamigos, please.
There's more. My response was that I was embarrassed and I knew she was right. And another thing, you know, I was thinking when I was walking around outside, you know, you got security outside your house. And I was thinking to myself, God, I know what this is about. You know, and your kids are older, lucky for you, but they're still aware, they're still exposed. And I put my family through so much that I didn't understand that I was doing at the time because I had blinders on. I wasn't thinking that my son was having to deal with stuff. My daughter making up accounts online to defend her uncle. Killed me. My wife. So dealing with all those things, and it's fine.
First of all, good for her.
No, they're good kids. They're good kids. I'm going to talk to who I want about what I want. I'm going to focus on what I think matters. And I'm not playing the game. I'm only going to expose the game.
So what's the worst thing you've ever done?
The worst thing I've ever done was to forget what I'm supposed to be about. I have an amazing ability to repeat mistakes.
Been there.
I hate myself for it. And all I can do is to try to be different now, make different choices now. Like, I don't pick fights the way I used to. I believed that my value at the time on CNN was, I'm going to bring on Tucker Carlson. He's a smart guy. He's practiced on what he is. I'm going to take him apart tonight. Not gratuitously, but I'm going to take him on his own basis. I want him at his best. Whatever his best argument is, let's have him on and let's get after it. I don't do that the same way anymore.
So how could you possibly be upset about being fired? I mean, this sounds like, this is not flattery, it's sincere. That sounds like a much more enlightened view of the world, a truer view of the world than the view that cable news encourages. That's a good thing, isn't it?
Look, again, bad things happen. You get an opportunity, what to do with them. I'm choosing to try to create a better professional mode for myself. But I can't look at what happened to me and not see injury. My name right now is Chris Cuomo. I'm okay with that. Comma, fired by CNN. I accept that. That's a fact. Comma, for lying about what he did to help his brother. That is not true, and it cannot stand. And I cannot have my kids have to deal with that as a Google search of me. It's not true, and the people who said it know it's not true.
You know, I always used to, maybe I'm the one who grew up in the mafia family, because I just don't see that.
I didn't grow up in a mafia family.
I'm just joking. I just
want to take your head and
No.
squeeze it.
No.
Is that wrong? Is that evil?
It's a little wrong. But I'll accept it. But I just don't, look, lying is bad. It's always bad. Lying is always bad. But doing whatever you can to help your family, again, it's just a hierarchy of loyalty. And anyone who tells you that you have, except to God, a higher loyalty than to your own family, that's your enemy. No, your loyalty is to your family, okay? Period. So I don't, you say you didn't lie, I actually completely believe you. But if I found out that you did lie, I wouldn't judge you. It's your brother. I mean, like, what?
I think it matters.
If your brother was on the run and he said, "Can you give me $500 for a fake passport?" In a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel. So, like, how is that a sin?
I don't know if it's a sin. I don't know if it's right. I don't know if it's wrong. I'm just telling you that's the way I am. You're getting my head on why it was me.
Yeah.
Why do you think it was you?
I mean, strictly speaking, I have no idea. I've never been told. I've heard a lot of people throw around theories, but I don't know which are true. And I don't really care. But more broadly, I understand why. It's called destiny. Your life has an arc and a path, and you don't know what it is, but you can feel it, happen.
But you didn't say, why me? What about all these other people?
No, I felt like this was always going to happen. It doesn't, I was shocked for like 3 minutes, but that was it. Well, I talked to you right after, I think, within a couple days. And so I'm almost never really shocked by anything that happens, but that I just immediately saw the upside, and because I wasn't mad. And I wasn't mad, actually. And
are you on medication?
I don't take Advil, like even
Really?
Advil.
So this is just you.
Oh, you'll never meet anyone who's more opposed to pills than I am, or
Really?
any intoxicants of any kind other than nicotine and coffee. That's it.
That's where our roads diverge.
Dude,
I am about better life through chemistry.
No, I don't take anything ever, like ever. In fact, I had a back spasm yesterday. I've had back surgery and it hurt. I was like, I'm not taking Advil. No, I'm just totally opposed to that. That's a whole other conversation. But yeah, I'm with, who's that weird actor in Scientology? I can't remember. Tom Cruise.
You had to reach for Tom Cruise's name?
I couldn't.
He didn't just.
I'm sorry,
just
I
didn't
couldn't
come to
remember. I
mind?
couldn't remember. But he gave some speech on TV a few years ago, or several years ago, 10 years ago, about how SSRIs and all that stuff is evil, and everyone's like, he's crazy. But I was like the only person. It's like, you go, Tom Cruise.
You were on the wrong side of that.
No, dude, I'm all about that. Anyway, no, I really felt that it was destiny, as I feel that most things are. I think there is a plan.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.